heard you. You don't need holy. That's how it starts. You say you don't need halos over your head. Good, I was there when they crowned the dead. You cut threads with thoughts sorted dead. Collect face, I taught men their language when fear learned to speak. You don't bow, don't beg, collect respect. I watched kings do that right before they broke their necks. You think silence is strength, sniper breath, steady hand. I was the silence before there were plans. You pressured the game, don't break, don't bend. You think pressure's yours, I invented the end. You don't scream, don't flinch, don't posture fine. I don't move at all and still ruin time. You don't need a God, God calls and command. That confidence tastes like a borrowed hand. You keep faith in your spine, I keep mine in the fracture of minds. You don't need holy, you don't need light, you don't need saving, you already died. You don't need the stories, you think that's control. You don't need holy, holy, you're already close. They want you softer, slower, easier read. I want you sharper, easier to bleed. You're coded in patterns they'll never see. I wrote those patterns, you're still on page 3. You dissect scripts, rebuild, leave corpses behind. You think destruction means you designed. You quote outcomes, dismiss heaven and pain. I don't need heaven, I harvest the stain. You don't fear being wrong, you refine the loss. I don't fear loss, I multiply costs. You don't balk, you decide, seal fate. I whisper once, now it's far too late. You confuse loud with real, you're right, you're awake, but you still think awareness makes you open. You don't fear sin, you fear who taught you the word. You don't need holy, don't need rules to define you. You don't need saving, that part I'll remind you. You don't need holy, you beg no forgiveness. You think that's precision. You don't need holy, holy, you made the incision. But you say God lives in gaps, you're scared to think I live in the moment you blink. You closed every gap, stared until it snapped. I stepped through, you never mapped that. You say myths help men survive what they won't confront. I survive off what you won't want. You move first, then the universe updates. I move after, when it's too late. You calibrate truth, dismantle the roof. I dismantle why truth needs proof. You don't chase crowns, you dismantle the throne. I sit beneath it, alone. You read behavior, pressure tone. I read hunger before it's known. You calculate, don't react, stay clean. I write the math behind the machine. You speak in proof, execute, decide. I speak in echoes that don't die. You don't threaten, you demonstrate good. I don't demonstrate, I misunderstood. You don't warn, you accelerate fast. I slow the moment, make it last. You cross lines in silence, no sound. I erase the concept of a round. You need chaos to feel alive. I need stillness, that's where you hide. You look inward, call that choice. I look inward and become the voice. You don't need holy, you don't need fear, you don't need heaven. You're already no altar, no story, no blood, no plea. You don't need holy, holy, you belong to me. You don't need holy to tell you you're clean. I was there when clean stopped meaning a thing. You stand in your fallout, own every choice. I stand after choice, after voice. You answer to you, that's where you end. I answer to cycles older than men. You move first, proud, spine held tight. I wait until certainty rots overnight. You call yourself complex, roots underground. I salt the earth, nothing's found. You think pressure bends the world your way. I bend the rule that makes pressure stay. You don't need myths, signs, light or grace. I don't need meaning, I wear its face. You think standing alone makes you free. I stand nowhere and you kneel to me. You don't need holy, you said it yourself. You just didn't know who else was listening. You thought saying I don't need holy cut the cord. You just rang a bell from an old award. You said it like freedom, chest held high. I heard an invitation crawl out your spine. You stripped the myths, the light, the plea. Good, now there's nothing buffering me. You stand so sure, you're self-defined. I watched that certainty rot 1,000 times. You don't kneel, don't beg, don't ask for grace. That's why your name fits perfectly in my mouth. You don't fear sin, you don't fear God, you fear nothing, and that's the cost. You think you're moving unseen, untouched, awake. I've been breathing behind every choice you make. Sing it again, slower this time.